There. That's it. That's him.
What's going on, y'all? You know who it is. Mr. Warmack, a.k.a. Low Rent, a.k.a. The Ignorant American, a.k.a. The Truth As You Know It, a.k.a. Dirty Business, a.k.a. The Jet Jaguar of YouTube. What's going on, folks? You know who it is. I'm back in the building. Mr. W-O-R-M Mac in the building. You know how I do. And today, like I said, this shouldn't be nothing new. I just changed my background to where I am, you know. I want to talk about today. Sorry if I got a little bit of a cold going. I've been out in the snow hanging out with friends and family and ladies, of course, always. Today I'm going to talk about how you'll support gay rights, but you won't support affirmative action. Now, a couple people have been saying to me on YouTube, put my inbox, how come you don't talk about a lot of black issues? And I explained in other videos why I just don't focus on black issues. Today is going to be another point I prove on why I don't focus on just black issues. Now, there is a Senate bill barring workplace bias. There was a Senate bill that was okay. The bill went to the Senate. It was okay about workplace bias. It might have been. It was in the House, and it's coming up for a vote. I don't know if they voted on it yet or not because I got to check on it. And I'm doing a video now it's happening now as I'm talking about it, I guess. And it might not make it without an executive order. So, now, that being said, we support, barring workplace discrimination on any reason, no matter what your sexuality, your race, your creed, your nationality, your religion, any type of belief you have, we don't endorse discrimination. But a clear majority of businesses have these policies in effect already. What they want to do is they want to they don't want people to discriminate because of whatever. Well, a lot of these, if you like the company I work for, that's part of their program. You can't do any of this shit. And I give them credit as far as that. They are real politically correct when it comes to stuff like that, because where I work at is diverse as far as racial. You got white people from the southern parts of Kentucky. Let me explain to you. I moved to Columbus. I'm in Columbus, Ohio. And in Columbus, Ohio, there's the diverse group of people. Back in the 90s and early 2000s, jobs were everywhere out here. I ain't gonna lie. The newspaper had 5 sections of jobs when I first moved out here. I was just fortunate enough to capitalize on it. So we have, at my job, we have white people from Kentucky that only seen white people. We have black people from the hood, from Brooklyn, that only seen black people, and so forth. We got people from Venezuela at my job. We got people from Germany at my job. So we come from a diverse group. And we have people that are gay, we have people that are Muslims, so forth and so forth. And my job is, and I have to give them credit for that, they are on top of this. Because it's politically correct and all, I understand that, but I have to give them credit as far as they are being on top of that. But wouldn't there be more? They don't want, this would be more like an affirmative action, wouldn't it be? But that's my point. A lot of people aren't out here promoting this. You want to cry and whine, but at the same time, you don't want to do anything about it. They're taking away affirmative action. They're replacing it with the gay agenda. This is why I don't talk about black issues a lot, because 80% of you do not give a shit when you talk about black issues. The black church definitely doesn't give a shit. You all know why in the black church? Now, when I say the black church, I don't mean every one single black church doesn't care. I mean a clear majority do not care. You want to know why? We think they're getting some money from. They're getting some money from homosexuals, because there are homosexuals in the church. Let's not be fooled. But there's certain people ministries who I respect for other religion. I respect Farrakhan's stance on that. I respect Pastor John Hagee's stance on that. I respect the church I used to go to back in Pennsylvania when I lived there. I respect my preachers. Well, the preacher I have now, well, I know him when he was a deacon when I was coming up, I respect his stance. And his stance is, as long as you're trying to strive for God and like try to deny that, he can help you out. But he comes from the old days where if you're still doing that, well, he's basically anything. Say if I'm fooling around with 5 different women, he'll be like, brother, woman, are you willing to get that up for God? Now, if I'm like, I don't think so, he'll kick me out the church. It's the same thing with homosexuals. They say, are you trying to strive for better work with God? If you say yes, you're trying, go to church. But if not, I guess he kicks you out. And you gotta respect that because he's going by his religious book, his religious teaching. Now, a lot of you crybabies and whiners, well, who are you guys to judge? John 7:24. I think it's John 7:24. Either John 7:24 or John 7:14. It deals with your right to judgment. So that's another thing. I can get you with that. So I'll leave that alone for now. But this is why I don't talk about, like, a lot of my videos are not concerned with just focusing on black folks. You wanna know why? 80% of y'all don't give a shit. Look at your Facebook. You got people doing their little minstrel and coonery on Facebook, and y'all ain't saying nothing. That's why I rotate more on Google Plus, because Google Plus is dedicated to creative minds and people trying to get shit done. You know what I mean? Facebook, you got everybody's a boss, everybody's a model. You're flashing Google pictures of money, and you're all taking pictures of you in your bathing suits, wondering why you can't find a good guy. Well, let me put it this way: if my chick's taking 1,000 pictures of herself in a bathing suit, she ain't my chick. But this is one of the reasons why I do not talk about stuff like this, because another thing I don't talk about stuff like this, because you won't come to terms to grips with being a bunch of DNC lackeys. Like on the gay agenda, the DNC rolled into town, they told you guys what to say, and you parroted it. To a T, by the way. Because realistically, if you look at the black people's, like, values overall, they more tend to be, I'm not talking about fiscal, I'm talking about their values as far as their how they feel and stuff. They tend to more lean along the lines of the conservative and the GOP if you look at it like that. As much as you churchgoers are going, you guys are the really ones that are killing me with this homosexual stuff. Because you guys will vote for anything. So I'm digressing. When the DNC comes around, and they tell you who to vote for and who this and that, you guys will parrot that shit to a T. And like, let me give you another example. You guys do not give a shit about stuff that's affecting you until it affects you. Because let me tell you, remember the welfare card episodes? Remember that story down in Louisiana? It probably happened in a lot of other stores. Remember that story that made a big deal about Louisiana? Where all you motherfuckers got their cards, they thought you were going to steal from us? And then left the cards in the store when you got caught? Why don't you do that whenever it's time to vote? You got motherfuckers have millions of excuses why they can't vote. But if you do something like that, it was like it was so crowded, it looked like the fucking New York City Marathon starting line. That's how crowded that shit was. When it comes to vote, you guys hem haw and be like, well, I can't make it to the voting booth. You'll be down the street at your library. But if your EBT card ain't working, you'll be the fucking U.S. Postal Service. You'll go through rain, sleet, or hell just to see if that thing's working. And that's one of my biggest gripes. You don't want to solve problems. You want your problems solved for you. And you want your problems solved by the government. If the government solves your problem, the government is not going to solve your problem. What you need to do is do like those folks did in Chicago when Al Sharpton came around with his little buffoonery and coonery dances. But you know what happened? They were having a town hall meeting in Chicago. And you know how they did it. They probably gathered around and Al Sharpton goes, I'll talk to them. I know what to say to them. Well, Al Sharpton proceeded to do his little buck dance and his little guns in the neighborhood, yada, yada, yada. This is the excuse that liberals and a lot of black people use guns in the neighborhood. If that's the case, white people have guns in their neighborhood. Middle-class black people have guns in their neighborhood. They ain't all shooting that shit up already. It's the poor. You want to why? Because it's the predatory nature of people. And here's what kills me. You won't go to a black middle class or a white neighborhood to do. You'll do that in the hood. And it's the same rate as, economics around. So I'm saying black because obviously I'm black. I'm about to lie to you, like say, oh, you're a sellout. But that's another video for another time. But I'm like I said before, you guys don't give a shit. I can make thousands of videos. I got videos on there showing people how to get off welfare. You think they want to go to that and see that? You want to know why? Because if you watch that video and take heed, that means you have to do a little work. That means the onus is on you to get off of it. But you don't want to get off of it. You want the government to keep taking care of you. And then when the government fucks you over, you want to cry about the government. Well, that's like your parents. Sooner or later, they're going to take you off that bottle, baby. So, I'm just saying, when I give this stuff to you and you don't want to act, don't come back later whenever it affects you and say, well, where was I when this happened? You were getting okie doke, so don't get mad at me because you're stupid. I'm out. Peace.
There. That's it. That's him.